All right, and we're back Wednesday, April 14th, AK47 over at Deckmar Trades via Tradecaster.com. Josh Smith Official, Prime Trading here on Instagram, and it's been so slow lately. It's been a ghost town for the most part, especially in Pennyland. And really, all day long, this is what we're sitting around waiting for a stock that we knew was going to cost $350 plus, right around the $350 mark. And look at this, a $50 spike at the open, and now is literally dropped off, well, 20-ish from the open, but that's it. It's just been so dead recently, team. There have been plays to be had. I'm going to get over plays from the last few days, Monday, Tuesday, and today, and what we're kind of looking at and what there is to be had. Not a lot of options, honestly. So what does that mean? What does that usually mean? It means we're going to get hot soon. We're really hitting to the lull, and I'd say the bottom part of how slow it's been. It probably has not been this slow since last, August into September, where we saw a nice, good, 1 month stretch of it just being nasty, just being terrible. So again, let's go back into Monday. Here we go, Monday the 12th. One of my great alert plays, literally waiting for a trend line to crack. There was this one little dip down below, but of course I just had my trend line set right in here, team. And look what happened when you crack the trend line right in this area. I mean, look at that. I mean, look at all these lower shadows. Easily right up the line there. Got filled around the 12. It was a bad fill. It was around 12:24 because I was kind of late to the party there. Because I didn't set the limit order in because I was kind of, again, didn't fill it out. But around the 12:25 area was my fill. You could have gotten filled probably somewhere close up to 12:40-ish area, 12:35-ish at the worst. That would have been good. I got filled around 12:27, 12:25, I think it was, somewhere in here. But again, I just couldn't believe the immediate drop-off. I mean, straight to the VWAP and crack straight below. And that's all I was waiting for. And my alerts essentially were, wait for this to run into resistance around the 12.6 area, and I'm waiting for this to crack the trend line hard. And just give me a short back to the VWAP would be great. $12 was kind of my goal, but I mean, immediately it just cracked straight through 12, straight to the VWAP. Even then, I was like, oh well, I was just like, freaking out. It's even below the VWAP now. This is good, baby. And then boom, I didn't take it all the way down to 1120 like I wish I would have, but I took the rest off in this 1160 area and was done. But again, and I'll just put it in just real quick for you. Like, look how fast and easy this is. You go over here to your studies and you just put your trend line in here, team, and just look how beautiful that is there. And again, where you could have gotten filled at. This is like the bottom of the bottom. I try to put it essentially where I probably had it. I could put it a tad higher, but that's why I got filled and was a little late to the party. But I mean, I could have, and again, still can put this a tad higher. And it's all about what you feel comfortable with. You want the lower portion if you want to be safe about it. I like to do. This is a little more snugged up in there, more riding. Those three lower shadows. The close of these can't. A little bit. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit higher, but again, still, it's not too much higher than where it was. But anywhere in that area is good. And then that's why I again pulled the trigger because I was kind of late. Going, oh, here comes the crack. Got that 12:25, 12:27 fill. Again, thank you, Lightspeed. Have an immediate execution speed. And again, then playing the trend line again later on, team. You're just doing the same thing later on in the day. You find this trend line. Again later on where it finds that one dip below it did it earlier in the day, and you just put the trend line in here. If you want to put a little bit lower, you can put it there and see how it has resistance, but I like it right around here-ish, right around there is where I like it the most, because it really then in the end really then runs right into resistance later on. That's what you'd use it as. Once we crack the trend line, another good short here at the 1260 area, immediately down 20, at least 20 cents down to 1240, then runs right back up to what? Your resistance area. I know that's a little bit above your entry now. If you were still in there and didn't take off the plate there, which most probably wouldn't, you use this as your stop loss. Because if you squeeze back above that, you're probably up to 1280 and so on and so forth. And that's fine. And that can be your end-all be-all stop loss, seeing you've had resistance there a second ago. But look for this, what it eventually does. And I'll get to another one today where I was trying to help one of my buddies in chat, always messaging back and forth, okay, and Black Bear, saying, man, just give TIGR a little bit of time. It's gonna crack, I promise you. And again, just like this, and look how if you would have got in here and just held with it at 1260, 1250, wherever you got in, immediately, or not immediately, but eventually falls down a little bit further. But again, those are just some of the alerts from, and again, look where we're ranging from. We're just kind of channeling all day. Essentially channeling all day from, we get this great surge at the open. Give it that. And we see some surges. 1020-ish area, immediately up to 1250. Essentially, a little over $2 spike in the first 30 minutes of the market open. That's great. But then look where we range from there. The rest of the day, look where we range from. Essentially the $11 area to 13. We range $2 the rest of the day. We ran $2 in 15 minutes. Then we only range $2 the rest of the day. You see what I'm saying? And then the last portion of the day where you still, are still staying up, and which we want. We're finally getting this, which is a good thing. We're finally getting stocks to hold their gains with more of the portion of the day, which is huge. So let's get into some other plays. Yesterday, let's get into MUDS, MUDS. Another great climber, right? Another great climber the last 2 days, really, even on Monday. And I didn't have the alerts on it Monday, but again, great little slow and steady climber. So here now I'm looking at it yesterday. I'm looking at it on Tuesday. And what I'm alerting early on in chat right here, as you can see, at 48 after. So 18 minutes into market open, which here, let's kind of zoom in here as we can see a little bit better here of where I'm alerting at, what we're looking at here, right? You know, holding up from yesterday's gains, goes on this nice spike from like literally around $12. It's a little drop off, right? Through the VWAP, it reclaims it, shoots straight up again, kind of like what we're just looking at with ANTF, that huge, you know, almost $2 run. This is $1.25, but still nice, good spike in the first 15 minutes. Then I see immediately this over this 1325 area. I said over 1325, watch for the next leg up. And of course, the reason why too on top of that, where we go over, well, let's go back. That was a little bit wrong. We go back to, I guess it was past chart history. I'm not going to go to it now. I guess it wasn't. I guess there was. I guess because that's it. It's all. That's the reason why. All-time high. So I'll go back to past chart history. That's why I'm going to past chart history, right? I'm going, whoa, we spiked up to 1325 there. That is now all-time highs. Let's go back to yesterday. You know, early on in the morning, right here. That's all-time highs, right here at 1325. I'm like, whoo. I know if we can push over 1325, we're going to have that next leg up. And so right here, as you can see, I'm alerting it at 48 after. Where are we at 48 after? Right here. I'm alert. Oh, like here we come. What, over 1325. Watch for the next leg up because it's battling that right then when it goes up to it. And then eventually does hold it. And then eventually continues to run because at first I'm like, okay. And I think I'm noticing here in this beautiful bull flag in this wedge, right? Or I could put a line in right down there. Put the top line in right there. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And then squeeze, whammy. Now we're pushing back up to the 1325 area. Again, though, back to the 1325 area. As you can see, it's pushing up, alerting at 848 right here as it's doing it. Over 1325, next leg up. New time, and I should have seen this a second ago before I went back to look. And why I was realizing that, I'm alerting it. All-time highs. You know, that's why you're reading that past chart history. You're going back and well, that's all-time highs, and look how it holds it beautifully. You know, right there, essentially 1325, 1320, whatever you want to call it. Look at this beautiful as it holds it. Next leg up, and look how it got the next leg up. There we go, 1325 break. Beautiful, right? It's exactly what I was looking for right there. All right, that's the next alert with Can. That's the next alert. All right, we're good. But again, just showing you why we read past chart history, and I love this play over 1325. Now, we didn't get the craziest of start. You know, we got up to 1375, but still, what? The next leg up. You break over 1325, what's your next area? Probably 1350 if you can get there. Then 1375, of course, it's just natural support, being that you've never been this high before, right? You just kind of have to go the natural support route then. But again, over this area was crucial, right? Look how it held. Then it bounced there, didn't come, I mean, I guess it did. Yeah, it hit 1326. The high of day earlier at the time was 1325, so 1 cent off. And again, as I tell you so many videos, go back through and watch them all. You're not always going to get right to the dot, right? Sometimes it's a cent off. Maybe it's 5 cents off. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful area for, like I said, next leg up, then your bounce area later on. Then Can from yesterday. Let's go into Can. Don't have it pulled up yet. Nice little spike. This was yesterday, right? Yes, this is yesterday the 13th. Today is the 14th. And stocks and blondes. Wanted a little, I like the $15 area with VWAP support approaching. You know, for a VWAP bounce. You know, right here. And again, and this is why I want to show you back to back with that. 5 cents off, whatever, or maybe even 4 cents off. Hit 1504. That's why I said $15 area with VWAP. So someone asked me, and Stocks and Blonde asked me where they liked the support at Can. Love this area. Beautiful bounce. Beautiful. And of course, then alerting, later on after this, hey, did you get the bounce? And they missed it because, I think they may have gotten a little bit low. They didn't wait for the complete pullback. They got in a little higher, but still got the bounce. Again, look at the lower shadows, and that's exactly what I'm noticing here. I'm looking at the lower shadows right here. $15 hold on them. This lower shadow goes really far below. Plus there's that little shelf right here. So anywhere between, essentially 1510 to 1490 to 1510, very rangy stock, especially at the open. You could see a bounce anywhere at that $15 area plus the VWAP. Beautiful. It's end up being 5 cents below instead of being on it, or maybe even 5 cents below, or it could have been like right here, right? So again, beautiful play there. Let's get over the last one from yesterday. VTVT. You know, more of a slow and steady mover yesterday, but early on. And you just go back to past chart history, and I loved it. 350 resistance, and there you go. Just so you can see right on the dot. I mean, there's where 350 is. I mean, let's scroll over a little bit more this way so it's a little bit more broken down a little better. Zoom in here and make it a little easier. But again, early on, 906. I mean, right there, I'm telling you, right there, I'm alerting everyone. 350 is going to be tough. You know, okay, could break over. You know, it's just now settling over. It's still right around there. But again, look at those upper shadows, and we finally break above it, right? Again, testing it again. But again, early on, 905. Here's 905. Let's not realize, too, that's 340. That's before it even gets there. And it's kind of testing. These are the ones that are getting close. Then we really tested a few minutes later, and then look how it falls back and falls over. And then again, alerting as it breaks up. Well, if we break over these upper shadows, which I don't think I got the, nope, did not get the VTVT alert there. But again, there's one of the last ones at 909 when it was probably about to be coming even again. That was after it was failing. But again, when we come back up, look how these upper shadows, and I remember alerting this literally at 11 o'clock because it was lunch hours. Like, hey, this is great to see at lunch hours. We did finally fail through, but look how when we break finally through, we get this surge. How, look, right here, I could put a line across. Look how we bounce off these upper shadows beautifully. Perfect. 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 And then eventually, when we come back to it, resistance, right? Now let's get to someone, of course, then eventually kind of, because it was ended up being a little bit more slower steady play, but eventually works its way back above. And again, runs into what? Old resistance. Look at this. Hit the 375 area, hits it again, and back down. Let's go into TIGR. Earlier play today for myself. Thanks to Stocks and Blondes bringing this one up, actually. Stocks and Blondes asking early on where they like the bounce play. And I said I really like that VWAP bounce actually at TIGR. Really nice lower shadow at that same area that occurred at the same price about 30 minutes ago. This was at 27 after. So right here. We're right here. Bam. Whammy. We get in there perfectly. Perfectly, right? Not really. Because I'm kidding. Because again, look. VWAP's at like 1970 at the time. 1971. This pulls back to 1963. He goes a few years back, right? We go like 7 years lower, but you get my point. Sometimes, like I said, it's not 1 cent. It could be 5 to 10 cents on either side of it. I got filled just because I went ahead and placed an order there just for a small order. It was only 500 shares. Look at the bounce. Then it ends up being a starter to a beautiful trend line. Which then again, if you look at then how I was then alerting this later on in the day, wait for this to crack. Look at this. Beautiful. Cracks right on over. Beautiful crack. And I'm not talking about the bad stuff. I'm talking about the good stuff. Let's see if we can get to some of this right quick if I can show you. Here we go. From just today alone, obviously those were from today. And then even here just a little bit ago, what I was just alerting, as you can see. TIGR, another great example of why I love trendline shorts. Right? Look at that. That's what I was alerting early on in chat. Let's see if I can go back to any other ones. I don't know if how far back I can go, but nope, can't. Oh, still cracking away. See, that, of course, that's later on, but I was alerting that nonstop. And then Coin was the other one, which is the more recent one. Now let's get back and again, look where it happened. I can't wait to re-alert this in chat. Let me go ahead and copy and paste that because I know that's about to get reused. Let's get back to Coin. Remember we were just looking at Coin. Where was it when we go back and rewind the video? We were at 360 if you do remember, team. Now I'll go back. Let's go back to Coin real quick. Look what happens when we crack that 360 area. Whammy! Look at that beautiful short. Look at the first red candle off of that. Whammy! Love it, team. I love it. So again, just kind of a stock market recap of the last 3 days. Really haven't seen the craziest of action, but still getting some plays in. Just reading the charts. AK47 over at Deckmar Trades via TradeCaster.com. Go live every Friday over there at TradeCaster.com. So join me live. And of course, Josh Smith Official Prime Trading here on Instagram. See you soon, team.